Hi everybody, I'm Pastor Chuck Rhein with Calvary Chapel St. Joseph, and I want to share with you just a little excitement about the second book of the Bible written by Moses called the book of Exodus. And this is just one part in our series of simply teaching the Bible simply. And our hope is that how a lot of us have some extra time at this particular season in life that we're in as a world, and maybe some of the dusty books of the Bible for you will get blown off and you can read them for yourself and get some excitement. So my favorite part of the book of Exodus is found in chapter 21, beginning in verse 5, and it's the laws regarding Hebrew slaves. And usually a person that went into slavery at this period of time did so because of debt. And so they could go and pay off the loan and serve for a max of 6 years, and then in that 7th year they could go free, they would be forgiven, if you will, by their master. And verse 5 says, "But if the servant plainly says, 'I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free,' then his master shall bring to him to the judges, and he shall also bring him to the doorpost, and his master shall pierce his ear with an awl, and he shall serve him forever." And what we see is through a physical mark on the outward appearance of man, a sign that something has taken place on the inside. He's made a commitment to serve the master whom he loves for life. And it's a great New Testament example of what it's like to have a relationship with Jesus Christ. And there were a lot of masters that vie for our attention in this life. We know probably one of the biggest struggles would be that of money. You know, with just having money at times, we feel like there are more opportunities or there are more choices available to us, and there can be that excitement. And yet, it is a cruel master. You can never quite have enough of it. If you have a lot of it, you have to worry about how to keep it, how to guard it. And in contrast to Christ, to the living and true God, it is a cruel master. Now, a lot of us have had to find that out the hard way. In our years before knowing Jesus Christ, we've tried, and even after Christ, we've put in little gods in our lives. And for some of us, it's been pornography, or it has been workaholism. Probably one that goes under the radar the most in our culture is food addiction. And yet, whether it's alcoholism, workaholism, whatever kind of ism, it's going to be in contrast to what Jesus offers. And in Exodus 21, I believe that type of servanthood is where real freedom comes from. Because you go to a master that says, "Look, believe in me. Believe that my son hung on a Roman cross. Believe that when I died, I provided an eternal payment for your salvation. You can never be bad enough. You can never have crossed the line where your actions have negated the possibility of repenting and saying to Jesus, if I could do it all over again, I wouldn't do it, and accept me as I am." And for Jesus Christ to look at you and I and to say, "Look, enter into my kingdom, my servant, and I see no sin in you," is beyond the scope of a 53-year-old pastor's ability to communicate to you with words. But what I see in Exodus 21, and I hope you'll see as well, is a beautiful thing where a man says, "Look, I've got a master and I love him. And to be able to serve him is the only kind of master in this life that isn't cruel. And to serve him shows me who I am in Christ, and I have an identity. I have a purpose." You know, a lot of us have gotten messages in our lifetime about who we are as people. And not everybody is communicated in a loving way that you were purposed in this life, that you were expected, and that you're a joy to be in our family. But all of those things and more are communicated by Jesus Christ. He tells you that before the foundation of the world was set, I knew you were going to be mine. And before I formed you in the womb, and the purpose and the plans that I have for you, they are so great, you wouldn't be able to really even believe it if I told you. So here's what I'm going to give you today. Go into the book of Exodus and look for that manna, that wonderful word in Hebrew that means, what is it? And look for that daily bread that I have for you. And I will show you not only that, but I will show you in the Old Testament pictures and types and shadows of my love, whether it's Genesis 22 or my redemption in Exodus 21, where a slave can say, look, I love my master, and the value that I have for his masterdom is true freedom. And pray that God will open up the eyes of your understanding as you look through the pages of the Old Testament. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.